Well, hello everyone. I'm so glad you're back, and I am back. For all of you that had to endure our reruns, we do appreciate you hanging in there with us, but we've been sequestered. Our nation has been shut down. It is amazing what took place in such a quick period of time as a surprise to America. I don't believe it was a surprise. I believe people are in collusion with the communist Chinese that have been elected to office. I believe we have pagans, infidels, and black blasphemers running this country. I believe the persecution of Christians is at an all-time high by radical liberals operating as governors, senators, congressmen, and federal agency directors. You can say, Faye, how can you say that? Easy. If you're not receiving our weekly Faye's Facts, which is a prayer letter that gives you the current events of the day, a Bible study and biblically based prayer points, you are not keeping up with what the Lord is saying to us as intercessors. I need for you to get on board. You cannot sit there any longer. You cannot watch America go under and do nothing about it. Our Congress and Senate went on a 5-week vacation. The Congress 6 weeks. They're still not back. Full pay, full benefits. They could care less. And for months up till now, they were so busy impeaching the president, they totally ignored the virus that was about to hit the world, and they deliberately ignored it. And what is going on in Washington now, you don't want to miss. We are being told to do things that are totally against our health, our mental health, our freedom, our liberty, and people are just going along with it. We're told we can't go to church. You can go to buy liquor and you can go get an abortion, but you can't go to church. How long are we going to put up with this? Well, welcome back. I've been talking to you for over a year that the Congress and the Senate of the United States are not doing their job. They do whatever they want to do that enhances their own prosperity, and we're finding out more and more that that is the case. We also are finding out that they are using this pandemic in order to persecute Christians in a way that they've wanted to do for years and years. And they're making laws that are nothing but communist-based while everybody's looking the other way. The reason that you don't say anything and the reason that you don't react to what they're doing is you don't know what they're doing. That is the sole purpose of what is going on. On our website, insightUSA.us, people are going there and they're reading our Faith Facts, not only what I'm going to be talking about today, but the ones that I've already written exposing what this pandemic is really doing. We had an author that wrote a book, This Present Darkness, I think is the name of it, in 1981. Quoted in that book was that in 2020, there was going to be an outpouring of the Wuhan 400. He said in 1981, a Chinese scientist came to America. And it was written, I want you to understand this, it was written in 1981 that he came to the United States with a vial of a bioweapon vial that would be loosed in 2020 that would bring America to her knees, that it would go from human to human. There would be massive deaths. New York City would be totally shut down. And exactly what he described, which is in my email that I posted in the Face Facts, the May the 1st Face Facts, remember that. And exactly what he said was going to happen in 2020, his name's Daniel Kuntz, is happening right now. Those of us that have been praying as prayer warriors every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I have a free conferencing, daily briefing, prayer call with intercessors from across the United States that call in every Saturday at 2 p.m. God reveals to us some of the most amazing things to pray against and ask for Him to reveal the corruption that's going on in our government. It's not only going on in the Congress and the Senate with Democrats, but just as much with Republicans. It is going on in federal agencies, the FBI. We have seen the corruption come out of the FBI, the spying on America, like we have never seen before. There is a bill before Congress right now, and that bill is listed in the Face Facts dated May the 8th. And that bill is H.R. 6666. H.R. 6666. And in that bill, they are asking neighbors to spy on your neighbor. And it's introduced in the House to authorize the Secretary of Health and Human Services, there you go again, a federal agency, an unelected bureaucrat, an appointed bureaucrat that is going to take authority over you and I. And they have allocated thousands of dollars, and I have the names of the congressmen that have already signed on to this bill, and it says for you to spy on your neighbor, and if they are sick, or they sneeze, or they cough, you notify an agency that's going to be in your neighborhood, and the police are going to come, and they're going to take your children, and if you're a senior citizen, they're going to put you in a public health facility that they are going to control just because you coughed or sneezed and somebody told on you. My dear friends, Communism 101, and these are the congressmen that's already signed on to this bill. Mr. Rush, Mr. Bass, Mr. Byer, Mr. Brown, Mr. Butterfield, Mr. Cardenas, Mr. Carson of Indiana, Mr. Cohen, Mr. Corella, and it goes on and on. Right after our phone call Saturday, and we read this on our call, the entire bill, our people couldn't believe it. I get an email from one of our intercessors, and here it is. The email that she got was, it says, do you know someone in your community who is sick or has a fever, has a cough or shortness of breath, or has difficulty breathing? Yes or no? And you have to give the information and submit it. It just doesn't tell you who you're submitting this to. So spying on your neighbor is exactly what was birthed during the Obama administration when the FBI and other federal agencies were spying on a general, and for nothing. And you could say President Trump, till the cows come home. This is not President Trump. This is a Congress and a Senate that has absolutely done no oversight to these federal agencies that have allowed this pandemic to take over not only our country, but the entire world in a couple of weeks. It didn't happen in a couple of weeks. And until we get people elected to office that are decent, that are pro-American, that are anti-liberal, radical, we are going to be submitted to pagans, infidels, blasphemers, and believe me, when the judge says guilty, you will go to jail. My friends, I need people to get on board with me. I need activists right now, and I'm talking to you. Forget your neighbor, forget all your kids and all your grandkids and all your cousins and your pastor and all the people that sit on the front row of your church every Sunday and don't do anything till the next Sunday to sit on the front row. We cannot wait till September, which a lot of people said, we're going to wait till September to repent. We've already repented. We repented Passover. Our phone call was unbelievable on Passover. We repented. We blew our shofars over this country to come back to God and for the people that are corrupt to be brought down. After Passover and after that prayer call, I literally saw in my spirit that angels were in our White House setting huge rat traps with huge pieces of cheese. This was right after Passover. That the angels were going to go and they were going to expose the rats in the White House. President Trump should have released every Obama-connected person in the White House, but he didn't. He is too good. He's too nice. His son is a liberal. His daughter is a liberal. And I'm sure they have an influence on him that liberals are just an opposite opinion of conservatives. That's not true. Liberals are dedicated to population control, the United Nations, and we have seen the Congress absolutely AWOL, and we have to deal with that. I'll be right back right after this message. Hi, everybody. Boy, our program goes so fast. We must stay in the media. We are right now, people are in demand, but it takes money. We have an unfreedom of the press. We have Nancy Pelosi headed to the presidency of the United States. We must abort this propaganda. I need for you right now to sit down and write that check. I got a $1,000 check because of our spot in our last program. People are saying, Faye, we want you to stay out there. Maybe you can't do 1,000, maybe you can do 100 or 50 or 25. One day I got a check for $5 and one for $3,000. Both of them touched me so much. I'm gonna tell you, you've got to do something. So today, just mail your check to Insight USA. It is tax deductible, and mail it today, your best gift. There has been no oversight by our Congress or Senate of what took place in the World Health Organization. The Democrats are saying President Obama cut the funding of the World Health. He did. We should have cut it 2 years ago. They have covered up the release of the virus that has killed so many thousands of Americans, not to mention worldwide. They covered up and they got away with it, and we were giving them $600 to $800 million a year. The Wuhan lab that they talk about was funded by Barack Obama. for $2.5 million when he was president. He knew the virus was there. We have the man who shut down America basically based on his science, and he's supposed to be the one with all of the science intellect, and his name is Dr. Fauci, and he has invested our tax dollars, several $billion through the Obama years in the Wuhan lab. He knew the virus was there. He is now saying that he's going to be able to create the medication to heal it. But in my Face Facts on May 8th, I will show you that Dr. Fauci and many of the other Democrats are invested in the manufacturer of the drug that Dr. Fauci says is going to cure or control the virus. Do you think that we have people that would release such a death certificate in this country so they can profit off of it? I would hate to think that, but the facts show you it's something to be concerned about. And I did the facts. I put the facts in our May 8th Face Facts. I want you to hear what I wrote. It says, does Anthony Fauci have millions invested in a coronavirus vaccine? The country's top infectious disease expert is discouraging the use of a potential COVID-19 treatment because he could earn millions of dollars from a vaccine. At least that's according to a popular Facebook claim. One post published by an anti-vaccine page on Sunday says Dr. Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, stands to lose $100 million on a coronavirus vaccine from Bill Gates because he invested in it. Can you believe that these doctors would actually destroy medications that people are saying has healed them? Because they're not making any money off of that one. They're using this pandemic for personal gain, and we need to find out how many of our congressmen and senators have invested in the foundation that wants to bring a vaccine forth that they say is the answer. Could people be that corrupt? We won't know until God brings the truth forth. That's why we pray every Saturday at 2. That's why people pray with us, hundreds, maybe thousands of people every week. Read the information. They're not intimidated by it. They don't take it personal because there's nothing personal to us. And the only thing we can do is pray for God to reveal the truth, which is what he's doing with General Flynn. And I want to tell you something else. When we ask God to expose and destroy the works of the devil, he is doing it. We just don't get the media coverage of it the way we do everything else. But President Trump has worked night and day. We've had a Congress and a Senate that's taken 5 to 6 weeks off. They've worked to do nothing. They got full pay, full benefits. They've done no oversight of these federal agencies. The last thing that I covered in our May 8th newsletter, which we'll talk about again on the next program, is the Chinese have invested in our professors' propaganda, teaching our children communism. They've invested in professors to do that. That's in my face facts, all of the sources that tell you that is the case. And they're buying up our oil fields of Texas, the Permian Basin, where our ministry is so strong. And many of our partners are in the Permian Basin and New Mexico. And in our facts shows that Chinese companies are buying up our oil fields. No oversight from Congress, no oversight from federal agencies, no media coverage, but they will control this country in another few months if in November we don't remove these radicals from office. You need to see how the Republicans are standing, what they're voting for. They need to go. The Democrats, they want to give another $2,000 to everybody in America to make sure you don't work. They want to pay any amount for daycare so the kids can be dumped into a communist-controlled daycare, but their mother has to go to work. So by the time she pays taxes and daycare, she don't have much left. But they don't care about that. They want your child. They want that mind. They want to control that home. And now they want to come in your house if you sneeze. I'm telling you people, the governors that are keeping our cities under control, these are communist-based radicals. Whether they are Democrat, Republican, makes no difference. There is a way, if they had used $2 trillion to separate the sick from the well from the unwell, if there is such a word, we wouldn't have shut down our country. They want Trump no matter what, but they don't care. I was praying one day, just sitting in my recliner and just praying because so much is happening so fast. And the thought just came to me, America's pain is the Democrats' gain. So if you're out of work today, if you've lost your job, we haven't been able to get our hair done, our nails done, but you can get an abortion and you can buy booze. You can't go to church, but you can stand in line at Sam's for hours, bumper to bumper. Nothing wrong with that. You can go to Walmart and wait and wait and wait, but you can't go to the little store on the way. It's bizarre. And we have got scientists that have been controlling our president based out of fear and misinformation. And I tell you, every bit of this started with the feminist movement years ago, taking the mother out of the home, taking the wife out of the home. It takes two to make a home. I know. I had a daughter that was married to a no-good nothing. She worked 2 to 3 jobs. She got to never see her home. Caught him in adultery. But God gave her somebody else when she remarried that's taking care of her. Hi, this is Faye. Our time goes so fast, but I need you to get involved. Our action teams are being organized across the United States in every state. You matter. I just got an email that the alleged whistleblower decreed in 2017 he would take out Trump. We have a coup, and they have redesigned it to be an impeachment process and made it all the way to the Senate as a trial. You can't sit any longer and do nothing. I need for you to contact me, write me, and say, Faye, I'm going to join you. I need your donations. I have people who could give $1,000 today for America's sake. There's others that could give $100 a month. I need for you today to do it. We could expand our program if you would just hear from God and obey Him. Well, time goes so fast, and our program is literally exclusive, especially in the Christian television market. A lot of our programs are on Fox News affiliates, so we are reaching a secular audience as well with the facts. That's why my weekly newsletter that organizes intercessors in this nation and teaches them how to pray for America is growing leaps and bounds. 58% of our youth, our millennials, right now believe America should lose its freedom, not honor its Constitution, but go into socialism because they have been taught through communist, atheist, Islamic professors that free stuff is the way to go. I have a message for millennials. Get a job and go to work. I have a message for freeloaders in this country. If you want health insurance, get a job and buy it. It's time for the facts to come. We just had the minority leader of the Senate that actually incited violence and threatened the Supreme Court justices because he is standing up for the rights of women. The right to do what? To murder your own baby. The right for women to live irresponsible lives, create a child and then kill it because they don't want it. Friends, it's time for facts. I need your support. In this week's Face Facts, it gives you the definition of socialism, communism, and capitalism. And the answers to our prayers are coming in a mighty way. The only thing that's going to change this is the Word of God. We are distributing the Founders Bible. If you want to know why the Founders Bible, you go to my website, insightUSA.us. We are distributing Founders Bibles on college campuses to give them a foundation. Will you sponsor a millennium for a Founders Bible for $50? You can go to our 800 number, call it in, mail a check to Insight USA. The address is on your screen. Will you help me throw the lifeline to the millennials in this nation that have been so deceived? And money is no object for the liberal liars. Money is no object for the Islamic communistic move of our country. But our millennials deserve the truth. We're going to reach them through this ministry, through the Permian Basin and also in California. I'm waiting right now for your call.
Faye wants to hear from you. Her desire to see America come out of exile is raising up one of the most powerful, informed, anointed, and united prayer networks in America for America. She is organizing Christians for the U.S. Constitution to give uncompromising believers back their voice and witness. If this program has blessed you and you believe in what Faye is doing, contact her, pray with and for her, partner with her. She would love for you to host an Insight rally in your church or city. Organize an Intercessors with Insight prayer team or join one. For a complimentary pocket-sized constitution or Faye's facts, call or email Faye. faye.usainsight@gmail.com. Write Insight USA, P.O. Box 917689, Longwood, Florida 32791.